So Shirley Bassey, she's about to make a comeback with a fantastic new collaboration album, of which you one of the collaborators. How did you? What do you know of Shirley, and how did this come about?
Yeah, my mum and dad would play Shirley Bassey albums when I was growing up. I obviously know all the Bond stuff she'd done. And then, I forget the year, it was somewhere between 93 and 95, we did a Royal Variety show, and she was on it, and absolutely stoked. They put her on before the half-time break, and standing ovation. It was a brilliant sight to see. Big orchestra, that big sound she has. Was completely blown away with it, and it's sort of stuck in my memory, that has.
So how was the approach first made on this songwriting collaboration with Shirley? How did it come about?
It come about from Universal, who've signed her. It came through a friend of mine who said, "Listen, we're doing a Shirley Bassey album. We're looking for, you know, all the best songwriters to write for it." And I asked why he was coming to me, and I thought, wow, that would be great. But didn't make any promises I was going to turn anything in, because I find often when you, especially for me nowadays, I actually say no more than I do yes, and it's because I only try and do stuff I really want to do now. The band keeps us so busy that I don't have time to do much anything else, really. But when I heard about this, I thought, oh, I really want to have a go, but I'm not promising anything. So I went away. And I must say, most of my best songs have written themselves really quick, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, but usually quite quickly. And the song I've written for Shirley, I probably spent about 3 months writing it, because I kept going back and change it, thinking, no, that bit's not good enough, I'm going to change that again. And I'd go back and two and back and two. And then my friend called me from the label and said, "Can I hear something?" I said, "I've not finished it actually yet," and it spurred me on to get the last couple of lines that I was missing. So I invited him down to the studio, and I said, "Is it worth playing for her?" He said, "Definitely worth playing." So about a week later, I went up to Air Studios and I met the producer, David Arnold. I met Shirley, and then I played her the song, sang it. I was quite nervous actually, and she loved it straight away and was singing it within about 2 minutes. She learnt it really quickly, and I just can't wait to hear the finished record. That's all I've heard. I've just heard that one bit of her singing it with me at the piano, so I'm dying to hear it.
And so when you first set out to write this track for Shirley, what was in your head? You know, when you were thinking about what would be right for her in terms of a song for Shirley? What was your first thoughts?
My first thought was that it would be too obvious to do a great big ballad, very orchestral, you know, kind of retro, and sound like it could come from a big musical. And yet, in the end, that's what I ended up doing. I've done a big, you know, Burt Bacharach sounding. It could be in Carousel, really, this song. Because I thought, you know, I think now and again you think that's too simple, it's too obvious, and they're the things that are usually right. So I went back, I second-guessed myself and thought, no, that's what I actually want to do. I want to write something like that for her.
So you want to write something classic, it wasn't too radical, it's that Shirley was going to totally deliver, so... Yeah. So have you got a name for the track at the moment, or is it still unnamed, or are you? Is that still the conversation that you have? Or do you speak to her on the phone, or has it been anything for that? I know you've been pretty busy with everything else, but
no, the track's been delivered.
Yeah,
it's called This Time. There's not much to talk about really. It's a very complete song. I've went through her the story of it, and you know, she's a great singer, so. You know, I think when you're a writer, the thing you're most nervous about is how someone else is going to perform your work. How are they going to get your lyrics across? Is they going to use the right emotion? And I just listened to 30 seconds of her singing, and I'm just so excited to hear the finished result. Because, you know, your keyboard's
Yep.
3 times the length it would normally be if you were writing for somebody. She's got such a huge range and great power. You know, you don't hear singers like that anymore. So it's been very, very exciting as a writer, a great project to be a part of.